Hello, welcome. How are you doing? Thanks for joining me. Court is back in session with your guy, Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Make sure you support the channel by hitting the subscribe button. If you're watching on TikTok, please click follow for great sports content. Welcome in to Speaking with Judgment. I am your guy, your favorite host, again, Jonathan Mathis. The Bucks Pacers Game 5 went to overtime Tuesday night. It was a thriller. The game featured a flurry of dramatic plays, a collapse in the final minutes. That was a tough loss for Milwaukee. Tough break for an overrated coach in Doc Rivers, whose only qualification is obviously knowing people around the league who can help him land the best coaching job available. Heartbreaking for the Milwaukee Bucks. There's a lot to unpack here. Giannis posted a 30-point, 20 rebound, 13 assist triple-double. Not taking anything away from Giannis' game, but it really didn't matter how much he gave on this night in a series where the Pacers clearly made it known that they were the better team. Was there any doubt it was going to be Indiana advancing out of the first round? I had already reached that conclusion, and it appeared that my initial assessment was correct. It was an absolutely insane ending between the Bucks and Pacers. You have to kind of see this to believe it. The story at the end of that contest was Haliburton's daddy coming at Giannis with some bullshit after the game. We'll get more into that in a moment. But first, right now, I want to talk about the actual game. Great game by Giannis. This is what you want to see from your superstar. A normal day at the office for him. The season on the line. Elimination game. For crying out loud, the turnovers were a recipe for disaster. You earned this loss. Take better care of the basketball. This was an elimination game. You're fighting to keep your postseason hopes alive. Their bad habits showed up. Disgusting turnovers were inexcusable. I mean, it is what it is. Just embarrassing stuff from every Buck who touched the ball in the extra period. Indiana forced 2 turnovers in the final 29 seconds of OT, and Haliburton blew past Giannis for a layup to close an 8-0 run and steal one from the Milwaukee Bucks. Haliburton makes a go-ahead layup with 1.3 seconds left in that overtime. That gave them a 119-118 victory as the Pacers escaped with a closeout win to complete a 4-1 series, despite Giannis' monster performance. It was an all-time mental collapse by the Bucks. Try and find a bigger collapse than the Bucks just had. You're up 7 points with 35 seconds left, and you lose the game, only to watch your season come to an end. Costly turnovers at the wrong time doomed them by the end of the game. I mean, it was just a terrible scene for them. By far, the worst collapse I've watched this postseason. In an elimination game, the Bucks choked and couldn't close it out. Just an absolute debacle in every way imaginable. Can't close the game out. I almost feel bad for Bucks fans. I feel for Gary Trent Jr., all-time human, played his ass off and showed his competitive spirit. Can't ask for much more. He did it. He did it all. It's like he gave them another option when he finally showed up to help Giannis in every way. He hit like 3 or 4 straight threes down the stretch on the money, but then 2 bad turnovers. You know, when things kind of go the way they unfolded in that game, we like to blame the coach oftentimes. After this loss, it's going to be a lot of changes with the team, which a lot of you had your issues with Doc Rivers, obviously. And Rivers, knowing his history and everything, he just can't ever rise above, and his teams can never give us a really fun ride in the playoffs. 2 insane turnovers on 2 straight possessions is not something you can put on him, though. You can look at Doc Rivers and say he's the reason they lost this game. You can't look at Doc Rivers and say he's the reason they lost this game. You see him covering his face, see him covering his head in disbelief with a confused face because the ball went through Gary Trent's hands for the second turnover that put Indiana in a position for Haliburton to close the deal. That's not on coaching. That's on the players making a bad play. This game could have easily gone the Bucks' way, and to have those 2 turnovers obviously cost them. And I mean, that's just what makes it bad. You simply cannot do that and hope to win the game. Big changes will be made, whether it makes you happy or not, because it seems the Bucks are stuck in basketball purgatory. There's a very high likelihood that Giannis has played his last game in a Bucks uniform. If it was, that was a horrible way to go out. I don't know how much he feels he would want to stay in Milwaukee personally. I talked about this the other night, and I think he looks at this situation and says, it's time for me to move on. I need to move on. It would be up to him. It's a decision only he can make, but I think he may want to go somewhere he can compete because he's still young and in his prime, and he can join a team like the Lakers and help them tremendously. I know I'm being a little biased there. If he decides what to do, especially now with Damian Lillard tearing his Achilles, that there's no future because they have backed themselves into the corner. After this loss, I'm assuming he's going to leave. This loss, which included a 4-1 serious defeat, has created uncertainty about what the future holds for Giannis. I sincerely think Giannis will finish his career in another city on another team. I don't see it any other way. We're putting the spotlight on him. I don't know what's going to happen, but if I had to take a wild guess, Giannis will definitely be on a different team next year. It's not like he's going to win anything if he stays. They have no resources or money left to build a contender around him. If he wants any chance of winning, he has to leave. He's already won a championship, and after he's been in a city a long period of time, he's earned that right to leave. The unfortunate part is that we saw glimpses this season of what this team could be. Obviously, Damian Lillard had the blood clot, and then he tears his Achilles. Bobby Porter Jr. was gone for a bit. We never got to see them entirely at full strength. The reality is, he doesn't have enough help. So why would Giannis want to stay? We don't know what next season will be like for Dame. When you win a championship for the city, you've delivered the chip and been in the city for years, you can leave. You've done your job. You earned that right to leave. Now on to what occurred after the game involving Haliburton's dad. This is what everybody was talking about following the game. Not Haliburton's game-winning layup, and instead his dad walking towards Giannis, waving a towel, swearing at him. what Giannis described as a disrespectful exchange. Haliburton's dad apologized on X after the game, writing this: "I sincerely apologize to Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Pacers organization for my actions following tonight's game. This was not a good reflection on our sport or my son, and I will not make that mistake again," he writes. No, it was not a good reflection on you or your son. His dad was 100% wrong. That was egregious behavior by an older man who knows better. And I'm with Charles Barkley. What was his dad doing on the court? That was embarrassing and clown behavior by the dad. I think the NBA should punish Haliburton's dad. They have to take action. The dad flat out embarrassed himself. No way around it. I was so mad seeing that, because it was one of the great moments of Tyrese's career, and you have his dad acting like a damn fool, putting his son in a super bad spot. His dad should be ashamed of himself. Look, I get it. It was a wild, intense moment. It was an exciting time. I'm all for celebrations and dads and moms sharing the moment with their kids. I'm a dad. I'm all for that. But that was out of pocket. That was inappropriate. That's taking it way too far. That should never happen. Get excited, share the moment with your son, but you don't ever approach the star player of the losing team and get in his face. It's clear what the NBA needs to do here. They need to put him on timeout for the rest of the playoffs. He should not be allowed to attend another game for the rest of the postseason. Not a lifetime ban or anything like that, but he should sit his ass down for a bit and not be allowed to attend a game. The way he acted, he stole the joy and moment, it seemed, from his son's big night. It wasn't about you. It was about your son. He handled the moment better than you. If this was a fan, believe me, he would have been banned. His son is an NBA player, a star of the Pacers, but that behavior was uncalled for, unacceptable, and childish. The league cannot allow this to happen. If they allow this to happen and let this slide, then you're basically saying this is acceptable. Oh, that's okay. It's okay to be the parent of an NBA player who confronts and gets in the face of the player from the other team. Oh, that's okay. That's such a bad look for the NBA. I don't care how you slice it. That wasn't cool, and it certainly was embarrassing to the rest of the league, the Pacers organization, and Tyrese. Your son makes the shot of his life, and dad wants to act like he's on the team. You're not a player. You're the dad of an NBA player. I would be embarrassed if I were Tyrese. This can't happen. What if Giannis didn't handle it the way he did and got physical with him? By the way, he would have leveled Pops, okay? Let me just tell you. The league doesn't want that. So now, after this incident, you have to use dad as an example and be the enforcer and punish him to make it clear that you won't tolerate this kind of behavior from anyone. Dad was doing way too much. All right, everybody. That's the end of this video. My mouth is dry. I need some water. I talked a long time. I've said a lot. I've said what I wanted to say. But you guys have been so genuine. You guys have been so great to me. And without you guys, none of this is possible. I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to check out my content, to watch my videos. Really, really appreciate it tremendously, wholeheartedly. But guys, I'm about to go now. I'm checking out of here. And before I go, I just want to remind everyone again, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow my TikTok as well. Hit the follow button. Follow me there. Follow me on Instagram, SportsJudge85. Follow me just about anywhere on various platforms. But make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm almost at 1,400. I'm closing in on 1,400 subscribers. So you guys can help me and you know, spread the word. Tell everybody about the channel. Tell everybody about the Sports Judge. Put me out there. But guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. It is May 1st. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the year. It's crazy. It's just, time is just flying. But guys, I'll see you guys later. Take care. And again, thanks for watching.